Hi, this video is to explain the Jig Saw for the collaborative work. So you, in Module 2, will be responsible for reading one chapter, either chapter 3, 4, 5, or 6. When you click on this, in your view, only one of these should show up. Whatever shows up is your group. But in case that feature isn't working because people seem to be confused, here are the groups. So you are reading chapter 3. If you are Katie, Jessica, Mary DV, Mary L, Gwendolyn, Jessica. We have 2 Jessicas, but you're both reading chapter 3. We have 2 Marys, but you're both reading chapter 3. You are also reading chapter 3 if you are L'Oreal, Carly, Sanji, Caitlin, Saul, Sam, or Jenny. You are reading chapter 4 if you are Renee, Tanisha, Claire, Kelsey. You're reading chapter 4 if you are Emily, Marie, Kevin, Kelly, Molly, or Jillian. You are reading chapter 5 if you are Dawn, Janice, Rachel, T, Deanne, and the other Rachel. You are also reading chapter 5, Malcolm, Kayla, Jamarie, Pranav, and Nicole. Chapter 6 is everyone else, Matthew, Aaron, Joshua, Brooke, Abby, Natasha, and Shanae. So after you read your chapter, you will come to this discussion page. You will type your summary of what you think is really important from that chapter, the main ideas, and then if you have any questions, something you didn't understand, or a critique even, something you don't agree with, this is a place where only the people that read your chapter will be discussing that chapter, so that by the time you are finished, you will have written a post, you will have read what everyone else in your group that read that chapter, that expert group, thinks, and you will all answer each other questions so that you are experts on that chapter. Then you will get into your home groups. Home groups are homogeneous groups, and they are homogeneous in this case because of what you teach. So the home groups are based on what you teach. So I'll show you here. Elementary, all subjects, Mary L, Brooke, Claire, and Deanne, you will be writing one lesson plan together. Elementary math, you are writing one lesson together. Elementary science. Secondary biology. Secondary chemistry. This group, you all teach something different, but it's all in the humanities, language, and social studies. So in this lesson plan, the content isn't as important as how you are structuring the collaborative group work. We have 2 English groups. That's English group 1, 4 people. English group 2 is 4 people working together. Secondary math, secondary social studies, and specials. All right, so those are the people in your groups, and this is the directions. So out of those 4 people, for example, you will each have read a different chapter. So if you read chapter 3, you are the lead designer for the task that students will perform to learn with their group. So you are the lead for the face-to-face interaction. You're the lead. That doesn't mean that you do that part on your own. You are all going to work together to collaborate on what the topic is you're going to teach, the content or the concept, the big idea, the understanding. You're all going to decide on that. You're all going to write the lesson objectives together. And then the lead designer is going to be the one that initiates the conversation with the other group members about what the students are going to do together for the face-to-face interaction. The person who read chapter 3 is the lead designer for making sure that it is on the lesson plan written the way that you want me to read it. Chapter 4, if you read that, you're the lead designer of the assessment of the learning objectives. So you will initiate a conversation with the other people in your group. How are we going to assess this? What is the criteria we're looking for that will show us that the students actually learned what we wanted them to learn? You are the one that pools everyone's ideas, and if consensus needs to be worked through, you lead that conversation. And then if a decision ultimately has to be made, then you can make that decision. If you read chapter 5, you are the lead designer of the explicit instruction of interpersonal skills and explicit explanation of the expectations for the students during the group work. So the things that relate to chapter 5. And if you read chapter 6, you are the lead designer of the group processing, making sure that there's time and space and structure for students to have a reflection of what worked, what didn't work, and recognition of the team's successes, their effort, and what that looks like. In the collaborative learning directions, you'll see that I've given you a process to use. I know it's hard working with other people, so here's a process you can use that will make my expectations explicit to you, but also help you all be on the same page. Because this is an online class, I expect that you read all of the directions to the assignments very carefully. I try to do these videos to help you as well. And if you have questions, please, please, please email me. But I just want to say people are losing points simply because they haven't read the directions, and I don't want that to happen. So please read the directions. Here's the directions for this lesson plan. Okay. At the top, you see there's a link to a template. In case you're not that familiar with Google Suites, our course mentor, Noelle, sent you an email explaining Google Drive, and which is part of Google Suites, and how to use it. What you would do is, you can't type right on this. This is mine. What you do is you go to File, you make a copy, and then you would put like chemistry. It's not a copy anymore. It's going to become the chemistry one. Save it in what folder you want, and then share it with the people in your group. So each group will have one lesson plan template. It's called a template because you can use what works for you and you can take out what doesn't work for you. If you need other things up here, if you want to take away things, fine. Then you'll save it as a PDF and upload it into the space for assignment, which is in the module 2 down below. Okay, so this is where you then submit the group work, and here is my criteria for what will be assessed on the rubric. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope that helps. I'm looking forward to seeing your lesson plans. Thanks.